Hey, what is going on, y'all? I have not forgotten about the motorcycle game. All of this detailing I'm gonna be doing and trying out is gonna translate to the motorcycle because eventually I'm gonna be doing a ceramic coating on the motorcycle. So for all of you that subscribe to the page because of my motorcycle journeys or even the information that I provide about motorcycles, I appreciate you. And I definitely haven't forgotten about you. But today, let's get into wheel cleaning on this 2002 Chevy Tahoe. Let's go. Hey, what is going on, y'all? In today's video, I'm gonna be cleaning the tires on my 2002 Chevy Tahoe. I've mentioned this in the other videos, and there's a couple right here that you can check out. I'll put that playlist up there. But this is my 2002 Chevy Tahoe. It's got 164,000 miles on it. This is gonna be my sample vehicle so I can learn how to detail before I actually get to my wife's vehicle and my vehicle with products that I wanna try out. So, this is gonna be a series of trying different products on the Tahoe and then taking them to my other vehicles to see how they perform. Because my Tahoe has a lot of wear and tear, it's got a lot of dirt, a lot of grime, a lot of things built up over the years that I wanna use some of these products to try to figure out if they work or not. So, in this particular case today, I'm gonna be using the Gyeon Q2M iron remover. And I'm gonna take you through and show you how I use that based on the things that I've studied. And again, this is a beginner's guide. I'm learning, I'm going along on a journey, and I hope you come with me to try to figure these things out and get some answers together. And again, this is intended for a beginner, so that way they can follow along as well. But if you're an experienced person, a professional, or even a DIYer that knows what they're doing and been doing it for years, please chime in and give me some information, that'd be helpful. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna be using several products today to give them a shot and see how they work out. So this is the Gyeon, that's Gyeon, and the link will be down in the description, Q2M iron remover. And so basically what this does is I'll spray it on the wheels, I'll let it sit for a few minutes, and then it'll turn, I think it's a purplish color, and then you'll be able to see all of the contaminants that's removing from off of this wheel. And after we're done talking about the products I'm gonna use today, I'll show you how bad off this wheel is before, and then how bad off it, or how good it is after. And again, this is all gonna be an experiment built up over time to make sure I know what products work for me and what don't. But also it'll make this 2002 Chevy Tahoe look good too. But anyway, that's the iron remover right here from Gyeon. I also have the Chemical Guys Diablo wheel cleaner. And so this is the non-concentrated version. I bought it in a spray bottle, and I mentioned it in another video about detailing. I'll put that up here. I bought it in a spray bottle so that way I can actually just spray it on the wheels when I'm ready to use it. And then I bought the gel, which is concentrated, and I'll take and top this off once this all runs out, and that way I can keep replenishing from the gel that's concentrated and a better buy at that point. But anyway, this is the Diablo wheel cleaner. We're gonna try that out today. This is the tire and rubber cleaner from Chemical Guys. Again, I bought into the Chemical Guys hype. I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but we're gonna figure it out. But I saw their products. They have a line of products that covers everything from the moon and back, which is a good thing, but it also becomes difficult when it comes times to decide, okay, I'm gonna buy this product specifically for this, or I'm gonna buy this product specifically for that. The thing is, a lot of their products overlap. Again, not necessarily a bad thing. And when I say overlap, I mean overlap in function. Not necessarily a bad thing, but you take it as is and go from there. But that's why I'm gonna be experimenting on this vehicle to figure out what works and what doesn't. All right, so that's this is the tire and rubber cleaner. And then last but not least, I'm not a big dressing guy. I'm not a big tire dressing guy, never have been, and I don't know that I ever will be. But this came in the package that I bought, the kit that I bought from Chemical Guys, and I'll link that down in the description if it's still available. I got this in a package, and so this is the VRP. It's called Vinyl Rubber and Plastic Protectant. And so it says, features super shine, UV protection. And so basically, I'm gonna apply this to this wheel as well to see how it looks. What I don't want is I don't want the splash off. I don't want, when I drive off, for that to splash all over the paint and all that other kind of stuff. And apparently this doesn't do that. So again, I'll go through the process. I'll hit it with the iron remover from Gyeon. I'll hit it with the wheel cleaner from Chemical Guys. I'll hit it with the tire and rubber cleaner from Chemical Guys. And then I'll finish it off with the dressing, and we'll see how it turns out. And again, all of this leads to what I'm gonna do on my other vehicles to include my motorcycle. So, all right, so we're getting ready to get into washing this tire. As you can see, there's some deposits in here. I'm gonna be completely honest, I have no idea what that is. But we're gonna see if it comes off with the products that I'm gonna use. There's a lot of pitting here. I'm not gonna say I neglected the truck, but you know, I just wasn't concerned with it after a certain point with the paint damage that I had on it. But as you can see, these wheels are pretty beat up. The tires are fairly new. I think they're maybe a year old or so. But we're gonna go ahead and clean this up and see how it turns out. Get us a before and after. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the wheel and tire cleaning. Like I said, on this 2002 Chevy Tahoe. I'm gonna start with the Gyeon QTM iron remover. And so this has a safety data sheet warning symbol on it. It is most likely going to be an irritant. Remember to always read your safety data sheets. Like I said, I already know that I'm gonna wear some gloves with this, so we're gonna go ahead and put them on, and then we'll get started. And my understanding is this iron remover smells really bad in comparison to maybe some other chemicals. So if that's also a consideration for you, you might wanna put on a mask, or if you're not in a well-ventilated environment. But I'm outside, so it doesn't matter as much. But I'm gonna go ahead and spray this iron remover on, and then I'll let it sit on for about 2 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and rinse it off per the directions and move on from there. And we'll see what kind of response the iron remover gives off once I put it on. Huh, that's interesting. Got a little safety built into here, so you have to squeeze the trigger in order for it to open up. I'll probably just cut that off in the future, but it's kind of neat. You see it right there. So go ahead and spray that on the wheel. Yeah, that stinks really bad.
Ew!
And let's see. It says shake well before use, which I did earlier. I'll go ahead and put a little bit more on though. And then it says let it work for 2 to 4 minutes, which I'll do until the product changes its colors. Wipe off with a wheel mitt is what I'm gonna do, and then rinse off. Right here, there's some of that iron doing its job, pooling off right there. There's some right down here as well. Right there. And again, all of this is building towards me working on my newer truck and my wife's RAV4, making sure that those stay nice and clean as long as they can possibly be. And honestly, it's gonna turn into a hobby, you know? But I'm gonna bring you in close here and show you how the iron is running off. And these are things that you just won't see. I won't look for it, you just won't see it. But it's good to see that coming off of the wheel right now. Getting you in close here with another phone. You can see it just pouring down. I am interested to see, you know, obviously because the iron's coming off, iron deposits. I am interested to see what happens with the pitting right here. Does that change any of that? We'll see. But we're gonna scrub it down real good and go from there. All right, so we're at the 2-minute mark. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this off. And I'm also gonna, that's my dirty water for my 2-bucket method right here. I'm gonna empty this out after I get done with this cleaner to make sure this doesn't cross-contaminate or anything. Okay, so it's coming off nice and easy. The cleaner is. I'll give it a good rinse down once I'm done here. It's also, what's the word? It's creating bubbles also. Emulsifying, I think is the right word, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I can see it emulsifying, creating bubbles as I wash it off. We'll go ahead and wash this off. And I'll get the pressure washer back over here to give it a good rinse. So then that way we know we're getting everything nice and thoroughly. And like I said, this is just a trial run, a beginner DIYer, just a trial run to see how all these things work out and see what I can learn. I'll give it one more wash down. And I would guess a lot of the iron remover is gonna come off the backside as well, because a lot of it's gonna probably be pouring back there. And I can see it just running down the driveway as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and empty my dirty bucket. For my rinse. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. That's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse the wheel down so that way that stuff doesn't set up. And go from there. It could just be tricking my eyes, but it does look a little bit shinier, a little bit more of a glisten on the tire. So we'll see. On the wheel, excuse me. All right, so got all that thoroughly washed away. Now we're gonna go in with the wheel cleaner, the Diablo wheel cleaner from Chemical Guys. This doesn't have any safety data sheet symbols on it, any pictograms are called, but obviously you wanna make sure you keep it off your skin and off of your eyes and all that kind of stuff. It says do not apply to hot wheels, clean one wheel at a time, pre-rinse the wheel, which I've already done, shake well, then spray wheel cleaner on wheels, tires, brakes, and suspension components. Let sit to break down the grime, but not more than several minutes. Do not allow product to dry, which makes sense. Always want to make sure you follow the directions on these products. That way you get the clean that you're looking for, but you also don't damage anything. But again, gonna let this set up for a few minutes, and then we'll go from there. So I went and grabbed the tire gel. Like I said, the Diablo gel, that's not what I had before. I'm gonna do what they do on YouTube. They tell you the measures you're supposed to put in there. And in the future, I'll do that. But I'm gonna put in a couple squirts to my bucket here, my clean washing solution bucket. And then I'll scrub the wheel down. Have mercy, see? This is how you know this is real. The cap is still on. I'm doing this live. This is not me pre-staging this or knowing what the end result is. So again, I'm doing this for beginners like myself. 1, 2. Go ahead and hit it with the pressure washer. Woo. All right, got us some good suds going. And I'll get some water over here in my rinse bucket. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and wash the face of the wheel. So I have the 2 different brushes from Chemical Guys, and they have interesting names on them. But this brush right here is a softer brush, and then this is a more firm brush for the actual tires. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my softer brush to work the wheels. I think that pitting might be here to stay. And again, not the end of the world. I didn't try to prevent it beforehand, but let's go ahead and get that scrub in. And so something that I didn't do in the past, go ahead and rinse. Something that I didn't do in the past was to take a detailing brush like this and get inside where the lug nuts are, or the lug nut covers in this particular case. Go ahead and hit those, make sure I get all of those details. And then if I was doing my truck's vehicle or my wife's vehicle or my truck, I would make sure I hit all these cracks and crevices, but I'm not worried about that with this. And I'll rinse all of this stuff down when I'm done. Then I'll take this brush, hit the spokes where I can, back in the back. You can see quite a bit of dirt coming off of there. Probably couldn't tell you the last time these barrels were actually washed. All right, so gonna go ahead and clean the actual tire again with my blue brush. These tires haven't been cleaned since we owned them. I know that for a fact. You can see a little bit of the dirt and residue coming off of there. And I may go back, after I rinse this off, I'm gonna go back and, oops. After I rinse this off, I'm gonna go back with the rubber and tire cleaner just to do the full effect. So I know what the products do. So I may do this twice just to get a nice deep clean on it. Give it a nice thorough rinse. Again, the rims are looking a little bit more shiny, but that pitting is, I think, here to stay. The tire does look a little bit better. Gonna go ahead and do a second round of the tire spray. And if I'm being honest, this seems concentrated as well. There it is. So this is the gel, and this is the cleaner. Yeah, I guess the consistency is a little bit different. Never mind, I take that back. The consistency in the bottle is different. You can see it. I'll put it underneath here. See how that's moving a little bit slower? That's moving pretty quick. It does smell good though. I'll give them that. It smells really good. So, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let this soak in for a few minutes. And then do another round. I think this time I'm gonna take the hard brush to it. I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference, but I'll take the hard brush to the wheel anyway. See how it goes from there. All right. Good foam on there. It's working to remove all that loose dirt and everything else. go ahead and rinse that off. All right, so I'm gonna take the tire and rubber cleaner. Let's see here, it says shake well, rinse tire with sharp stream of water to loosen debris and dirt. Make sure the surface is cool, yep, got that. Then spray directly on the tire surface. Always test in conspicuous area first. Scrub the tire with an appropriate tire brush to remove dirt and debris. Rinse thoroughly with water. Repeat above steps if desired. And like I said, there's a chance that the wheel and tire, the wheel cleaner, because it tells you that you can spray it on your tires, overlaps the tire and rubber cleaner. Hard to say. I have both of them. We're going to put them through their paces and see if it's just a waste of time or if it's actually legitimate that I use both of these. But for now, I'm going to do both on this tire, and then later on, maybe I'll do just one on the other. Oh, okay. Maybe there is something to this then, because it appears that some of the discoloration and stuff that's coming off of the tires is due to this cleaner, but it's because it's changing from pink to orange. So that may be the case. I don't know. Let's go ahead and scrub this down. Yeah. The soap, the emulsion, the soap is kind of a brown, dirtish color. So maybe there's something to it. Color me convinced, potentially. All right, so all scrubbed down. Hit it with a spray. Let it dry, and then I'll follow the VRP instructions. All right, so got it all rinsed off. Let's see what the VRP instructions say. It says shake well, spread with a foam microfiber applicator pad, work into the surface, wipe excess if desired. Reapply as needed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this tire to dry. That way the product goes on a nice dry wheel. This isn't being diluted by the water that's on the tire. It'll be nice and dry. So I got some other things I can do, and I'll come back to you and put on the VRP and see how it plays out. All right, so the tire's dried. I advanced it a little bit with the using my leaf blower, but we're gonna go ahead and apply the VRP to the tire, see what it looks like. Make sure to check real quick. All right. Again, I'm doing this real time because the label is still on. There we go. I'll give it one more shake. This is a true first impressions video then, huh? Yep. All right. There we go. All right, put two little dots on there. You can see it right there. Just go ahead and apply it and see how it looks. And one more thing about the series of products that I used on the tire before I got to this point. It's weird because there was probably a glaze on the tire from the factory that is no longer there. It's like the cleaners that I use, and I don't know which one exactly, and it's not even necessarily important at this point, but it's like the cleaners that I used stripped that wax off, which gives it a nice surface for the dressing to be able to go onto. So we'll see how this plays out. I can see some spotting right now. Don't get me wrong, the glaze does look good, but I can see some spotting right now where right here, and I don't know if you can see it up here or not, but right here, there's some discoloration and things of that nature. And again, all of this is a learning process. The next time I do the wheels, I'll record it again, and I will see, you know, what I change in the process and what changes in terms of the tire and so on and so forth. Make sure I'm coated evenly all the way around. And then we'll let this set up and then take a final picture. Looks good right now. We'll see how it goes. And again, I haven't applied tire shine in years, because I hated when you initially had that foam type, and then once it dried, it would splash all over the place. And maybe it was my fault. Maybe I didn't read the directions. I wasn't into reading directions back then. I'm getting older and wiser now and reading directions as I should in order to use products. But this is the initial glaze or shine is starting to fade off right now as it dries. I will wipe off the excess like it says, and we'll see what we got. So, taking the excess off, that should be good. And so, it looks like overall it's kind of turning into the black rubber color that you would expect. Really no more, no less. You know, and for me, I'm not looking for big shine, big flashy shine. I just want the tires to look nice. But what I'll do is the next time I'm out in the yard, I will clean this tire again with the same chemicals, the same products, to see if anything's changing with this. And I'll get a close-up here in a minute, or I'll do some B-roll and play a close-up of what I'm seeing with the tire and what it looks like, so that way you see what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna let this fully dry, and then we'll have our final product. And I'll do a comparison with another rim right down the way there. Honestly, they look about the same. So, all right, we'll be right back with you. So, the tire dressing is set up, the VRP from Chemical Guys. And I'm not sure if the sun is beating it out too much or what, but you can see that there's a nice, dull finish on it, but it's black. And that's okay by me. I just want my tires to look back. I don't want them to look faded gray or anything like that. You can see. And then as far as improvement from before, not really. The sun is kind of deceiving because it's nice and bright and it wasn't earlier, but you can still see all the pitting. But I will say that the iron remover worked. Based on what it's supposed to do, the iron remover worked. And then this is a tire that has not been cleaned. And you can see, you know, it's got a little bit of a dull finish on it. And again, like I talked about, these tires have not been cleaned though either. So before, these tires have been on the truck for about 1.5 years. I have not cleaned them, I have not washed them, I have not done anything to them. So that original glaze from the factory may still be on there. And when I clean these wheels again next time, when I clean that wheel again next time, we'll be able to see in comparison to this one what the chemicals are doing or aren't doing. And like I said, all of this is a build-up to try to see what I want to use on my truck and my wife's RAV4. And I keep repeating it because it's true. And then also on the motorcycle as well. I'll decide what I want to use on that. But you can see the shine that's on there. and I may be able to get that a little bit more even, kind of a matte shine, if you will, if that makes sense. I'll be able to get that a little bit more even next time I go to clean it, I'm pretty sure. All right, so let's go ahead and land this plane and go through the products as I use them in order. And I'm gonna tell you what I think about them. Like I said, this is my first time using these. And I wanna reiterate, I'm by no means an expert, but I am a beginner and I have a mechanical background, you know, eye for detail. So I know what I see when I see it. So starting with the iron remover, I believe this works as advertised. I could see immediately how it changed color in response to what was on the actual wheel. Because like I said, this vehicle's 22 years old. It's seen better days, but all better to test on an older vehicle before I put it on my new vehicle. But like I said, I do believe that the Gyeon Q2M iron remover actually does work. And I'll put a link down in the description to that. Next, I've got the wheel cleaner, the Diablo wheel cleaner by Chemical Guys. I have no reason to believe that this doesn't work, and I believe it's gonna meet its intended purpose. I just have to figure out how it fits into my routine. And that's, you know, kind of what you also need to figure out is how do these chemicals fit into your routine for cleaning? So again, nothing bad to say about it at all. I'm not thoroughly convinced necessarily one way or the other, but again, nothing bad. I think it does what it's supposed to do. The tire and rubber cleaner. I'm still on the fence about it, and let me tell you why. So when I originally cleaned the tire, it didn't necessarily look like it was doing anything. And one thing is the way this is colored, it is colored almost in a dirt color. So when the light hits it just right, and I don't know if you can see that in there, but when the light hits it just right, it's kind of got that brownish hue versus the pink hue that it puts off. So part of me wonders, is the brownish hue what I was seeing when I was cleaning the tires? You can go back in the video and see it. But was the brownish hue from this, or was it from actually pulling dirt off the tire? Now what I will say is that when I got the tire done after this spray, it definitely seemed stripped down. There was no glaze, no nothing. It was like, it looked like just the rubber. And then when I put the VRP on, you can see there's a little bit of shine left in here. And I think all of that's gonna come to me cleaning the tire evenly and consistently. This is the first time these tires have been cleaned since I'm on the truck. But you can see a little bit of shine right here. And then the restoration of the black wall of the tire right here. So it's black right here, which is good. And that's really all I'm looking for, to make sure that color returns. But then also you have some shine here. And I just need to figure out how to make that consistent the next time I wash the tires. And again, I'll do a deeper dive and a more thorough wash the next time I do it. So that's really my conclusion. Like I said, again, I think at this point, I would probably buy all these products again, but I do want to explore and see what other products I can use and test one against one. So maybe I'll do that on the next video. I'll buy another product of some sort that makes a difference, probably a dressing in this case, because that's what I need to figure out. I'll buy me another dressing to go up against the VRP, and then we'll see how that goes. And I'll make sure I do that video, and I'll link to it when I do it. So I appreciate you watching this video. And like I said, I'm still in the motorcycle game. I'm just doing other things right now, but I appreciate you watching this video. And remember to always ride as if your life depends on it. Peace.